Hello, welcome along to Christmas, let's call it Christmas update for the Buffalo and Pittsburgh Model Railroad. I hope everybody's ready for Santa coming. These are all going to enjoy your days, and I hope you have a really nice time, really safe time. Hope everybody gets everything they're looking for and more, and I hope you have a really good new year if I don't get another video out before then. And my son made me wear my hat just to make sure that it was a Christmas video, so I've done that. News on the channel, I can't believe what's happening with it, to be honest with you. It's had 184 subscribers at the start of December, and I'm hoping I could acquire 16 for somewhere to make it 200 by Christmas. And put a video out about, I think it was about 12 or 13 days ago, I think, maybe 2 weeks. There was 840 subscribers, and it was just, I couldn't believe that. I was blown away. So that's magic. I never expected to get as much. And I think at the time of recording this part of this video it's at 2,617, and I'm just like, I never ever expected that, but hey, that's where it is. And I thank everybody that has subscribed, and I thank everybody that's liked the video, and I thank everybody that's dropped a comment, because they're always welcome. I'm always looking for feedback and how I can make things better, or questions on maybe how I've done something, or maybe try and change that and do that this way. It's always welcome that way. So thank you. In this video here, I'm just going to go over a few things. I've got 3 new locos, which is before Christmas, but I will not tell my wife that. I've got 3 new locos. One with sound and a couple other ones. And then I'm going to go over some of the Scenics that I've done, basically. I'll go over the Helix. I finished the internal painting in the Helix. I've got a few foliage and stuff to add, but that's come on a little bit, and there's been a couple of questions on my chat about the Helix. Then there's Driftwood Mine, which I'm doing the main building for, I'm working on just now. The interior detailing is nearly there, and then I need to add the lighting and then get the building in. Armour packaging, I've got about the box building for it and weathered up a little bit. Still need to put the signage and stuff on it. You can get some lights in it. I'll show you a bit of that. And then there's Iron City Beer. I've got another main building part done on that, and it's just laying, just ready. But I need to add some lights and stuff like that into that. But I've been waiting on a couple of bits of plastic card and different bits and pieces coming, so that I can do a couple of bits of interior detail and make some window boxes behind some of the windows. So that's what I'm going to go through here. Again, thank you. Have a Merry Christmas and a great New Year, everybody. If you've not already, drop a like and a subscribe. Stay well. All the best. Thank you. So this is the first loco of the 3 that I've bought. It's an MP15DC. It's currently in Northwestern livery just now. Chicago and Northwestern livery. This is going to be the first of 2 locos that I'm sending off to be repainted to the Buffalo and Pittsburgh colour scheme. I think this is actually going to become number 44. If I am able to, I'll stick a photo up just now, number 44, so you can see what hopefully it's going to look like once it's done. It's DCC, it's sound, it runs really well, really nicely, really smooth, and at slow speeds. I think the Buffalo and Pittsburgh only had one of these in their roster, or I can only find one in their roster. So I picked this up. A really good price. So that's getting sent away, and I think it's April it's getting sent away. I've got the decals for it, and all other spare parts are inside the box, so I'm going to get that done. That'll be the first one. That'll be, well, the first of 2. That'll become a Buffalo and Pittsburgh loco, so that's cool. The third purchase is this GP38-2. This loco is also going to get sent away to get resprayed and repainted. And I think the roll number for it is 3563. So this is going to stay as 3563 because the Buffalo and Pittsburgh has a GP38-2 3563, so it's going to remain the same number. Hopefully I'm able again to put a picture of what this loco is going to look like up on the screen at some point, which hopefully I've done. We'll soon find out if I have or I haven't. This was originally sold as DCC and sound, and then when I got the loco back and I stuck it on the track, It's just DC. It has no sound chip attached to it, which is the perils of buying something off of eBay, to be fair. It runs okay going forward, but when you run it back and you take it to 0, it doesn't stop. It keeps trundling along backwards at low power. And the only way to make it stop going backwards is by moving it forward. So I'm going to have to reset the chip and see what's... hopefully just a reset in it, I'll solve that issue. If it doesn't, then I'll look into it. But I contacted the seller on eBay, and I've got to honestly say the guy was brilliant. He offered for the loco to get sent back to cover the full postage. Mine's is sending it back and the original postage cost. Apologised profusely for it. I turned around and says to him that it's a nice locomotive. It doesn't have sound. I would quite happily keep it, and I honestly think that the chip just needs a factory reset to stop it moving backwards. If not, well, it is a nice loco. I say, so I would keep it if he could maybe do me a bit of discount on it. So he gave me a third of the price back, which is not what I asked for, but it's what he decided, and I was more than happy with that. It was still, the price was still really good, even for a chip loco, and with the detail that this one's got, it's really nice. But this is going to be sent away, and this is going to become 3563, and that'll be my second Buffalo and Pittsburgh loco that I'm going to get done. Again, it's getting sent away in April. So I used Fusion decals. They done decals for an SD60, and I'm just going to use them. I'm just going to use their decals, the loco badges and things like that, and the numbering of that on both sets of locos. And hopefully it's going to turn out well. But I'm really excited to see what they're going to be. But the reason it's not out of its package is it was well packed in. There's so many extra parts and stuff like that in it that I've just left it in there just now. I'll get it opened up over the Christmas break, and I'll have a look. And well, I'll try and reset the chip first of all. See if I can factory reset the chip without opening it up. If I can manage that, then and it works, then that's great. If not, then I'll just change the chip in it, and I'll be happy with that. I'll take that as it comes. So that's my 3 pre-Christmas purchases, let's call them. 3 nice wee locos, some rolling stock for the layout. So 2 of them I'm going to go for painting. I'll show you what's next. The second loco I picked up is this BNSF NRE. It's not got sound in it, it's chipped. It's a really nice looking loco. I think it's detail and it's phenomenal. One of the handrails has popped up. I need to sing that back down actually, but it's a really nice looking locomotive. That stain is the colour that it is. Stain is BNSF. I was going to use it in the bottom yard to do my shunting down there. So that's going to get put into Buffalo yard, and it's going to be used for all my shunting. It's a really nice locomotive. Runs so well. It's probably got room to get a sound chip in it, but I'm in quite a small shed, so when you're in such a small place like this, it's quite hard to hear yourself think, as I've just turned that loco down. So hopefully you can hear me for what I'm saying. Yeah, so this is a nice runner. You're going to have to excuse me here because I'm going to have to do a bit of moving. The back end of the layout is quite tight against the wall here, so I don't have much room to swing the camera around. But I'll do my best to make it as slow as possible and show you. Hopefully it might get dark at times, but hopefully if I can add a bit of light to it, then that'll make it a bit easier. But let's see how we go with this. I've had a lot of questions about my Helix. With the layout being as it is, I wanted a fiddle yard, as you can see at the bottom there, and I wanted that to be able to be operated. So that is Buffalo yard there. Six roads, 14 feet is the smallest one, 16 feet is the longest, and then there's a 7th road, which is the back road, which is, yeah, that's for that's incoming traffic basically, and then comes off the layout down into there. Local gets uncoupled, and then it's going to be allocated and sorted and switched into the other lines. So, but I wanted a good height in it, but I didn't want it too low. So this could be operated and worked from a seat, and then obviously up above, this is eventually going to be Edgar Thomas Steelworks. Once I start picking up the buildings for it and things like that, stop leaving crap everywhere. So with that there, obviously the height change, I needed to put something in to change it. I didn't have the space to do it with a gradient, so I done it with a Helix. So every main layout board in this place is deadpan flat, except for this one curve at the top of the Helix at the end here. That one curve's got a 2.5 inch rise in it. So this is the Helix here. I'll just try and make it light again for you. When I built the Helix, it's like the first thing you see as soon as you walk in my shed. That's my shed door just there. As soon as you walk in my shed, it's the first thing you see is the Helix and the top of it and the everything. So I really wanted, I didn't just want to block it all off. I wanted to try and make it look nice. So I used the Woodland Scenic rock moulds to create a rock face on the inside. And all it is it's just timber on the inside supported up, and it's basically screwed down in a wedge shape, and then there's a couple of angle brackets in a couple of places which allows you to have no external support. But it's pretty, I mean, it's solid. It's really no going anywhere. It isn't really going to move at all. Yeah, there's literally no movement in it. As you can see, I've not went all the way up to the top with some of the rocks, and some of the rocks I still need to fill in there. But effectively, you view the Helix like this. This is how you would view the Helix if you were looking down and you were about 6 foot. So that's how it looks for that height. But this is if you're looking at it. So all I've done is I've created the side here where it's a bit wider. It's a bit more space that I could basically allow me to have it open. And then as I get round the corner here, I've closed it off, as you can see. I can't make this any bigger, any smaller, I'm afraid, because I'm just tight to the wall and it's absolutely hammering it down outside just now. So basically you come to this point here, then there's a bit of rock moulding on the outside, and then we've got the three lines, the three turns of the Helix anyway there, coming up. I wanted to leave it open because the train would disappear forever and you'd never see it. And whereas that's a good idea because it gives you perspective that it's disappeared somewhere. This also lets the dispatcher, who, if I'm going to just turn around here, who's going to sit at the CC, excuse my hand there, is going to sit at the CTC panel here, which is right next to it. That blue line tells me the locals that I just showed you earlier are sitting on that part of the track. This is still to be signed up, but I keep changing the names of the places, so once it's all set in stone, I'll leave the names as they are and as they should be. But as it is this now, it's just lights to show the direction of the points. So the dispatcher sitting here, he controls all the mainline points, and he controls basically from the bottom of the Helix up the rest of the layout, and then at the bottom of the Helix that is then controlled by the yard master, which, if you can see the panel just at the end there of the layout, that controls all the Buffalo Yard stuff that I just shown you. So it would be nice. It means the dispatcher can have a look and he can see basically what is where the train is, what level it's at. So the first two spins take you up to the height, and then when you come to the third one, it disappears off, as you can probably kind of see off there, into a passing loop on the other side, and that allows 2 7-foot trains to sit. So with this Helix being single track, there's 2 passing loops, one at the top, one at the bottom. That way we can leave a train sit and we can pass it, and then you get clearance to come up and down. And then the top of the Helix is just basically bringing you round from Driftwood Mine or Driftwood Yard into what is basically Altoona Yard for me. That's what that's going to turn into basically being. So that's the Helix. Really pleased with it. I've still got bits and pieces of foliage and stuff and some bit more detail in to go into it. Sorry for the change in light, it's just the light in here is absolutely terrible. There will be some lights in there and some lights added to it, but just now I'm having to make do with this phone, take it as it comes. So that's how the Helix is sitting just now. This here is Driftwood Mine. I wanted to use coal as the main industry on the layout, so I thought I'd put a decent sized mine. This mine location has changed about 3 times. It's been here, it's been the other end of this peninsula, and it's been right back in the corner where the brewery is now, but this is where it's staying. So this is a Walther's kit. I can't remember, I think it's a diamond mine. And then basically all I'm done is just added some interior detail. I've started to add lighting, started to paint the outside, but as you can see, all I've done is just added some very basic details, just a bit of clutter, a bit of nonsense, different things that's happening. There's a mine head in there because I'm doing it like a shaft, which hopefully you can see into there. And then once I add some lighting, you should be able to see this stuff through some of the windows, things like that. And this is just a conveyor. I'm going to add coal and stuff, and it comes down at the top. It's very basic. It's just basically to give you an indication that something's happening basically in there. So that's how it's sitting just now. So this is what this area up here is what is going to be called basically. If I can get to focus, there you go. That'll be Driftwood mine. So there's an old the building up the back is like a bunkhouse or canteen house, and where equipment's kept, and then we've got 3 roads going in that you can be loaded, and then there's 2 roads to the side there which is just for empty storage or full train storage basically. And then the walling. Now the walling doesn't quite look as bad as that. It looks like somebody's, no idea what somebody's done to that walling. The camera's really picking out the washes, but there's a couple more washes to go on it, so it doesn't look as severe. It looks like an old camouflaged kind of thing that you would get in an old Land Rover or something, but it's not quite as bad as that. So that I'll get that changed up. So I've got the walling right down here. So this has all got to go in, and I've got to pour here we have the start, what is going to be armour packaging. Hey, in America, armour packaging is like a slaughterhouse. Made your beef, processed beef food, send it out everywhere. My granddad's name was Robert Armour, hence why I was using Armour. Also found a couple of boxcars which had Armour on it, which then made me look into the company a bit. But Armour packaging still exists to this day. It's massive company, distributor. So this is just going to be a small yard. It's a 4 bays there for loading trucks up in, and then down past it, down behind it at the back end there, there's going to be a couple of spots for a boxcar just to sit on the road further down before it gets to the chemical plant where like a boxcar and things like that can be loaded and unloaded from. The trucks on this side are actually going to be their entrance and exit is pretty much towards the camera. So this is this building was actually made. The kit for it has been split into 4 different buildings. I think it makes this main building here, this main shed here. It makes a small yard office out at in Altoona Yard on the other side, and it also makes the modern part of Iron City Brewery, which, depending on what order I put the videos in, you may have seen or you might see next. But it's just been dirtied up, it's been weathered up. Needs a bit more stuff on the outside. Once the road goes in and the crossing goes in and the place gets dirtied up and there's weeds and things like that, it shouldn't look quite as severe as it does against the backdrop there. But quite pleased with that building. Added some additional details. Air conditioning on the roof, down pipes, a couple of external bits of details. I took some from other kits. The Iron City beer truck is a limited edition thing that I found, unbelievable, which I couldn't believe. That's actually going to sit over at the brewery, but though I might actually stick it here, because then, I mean, they would package the beer and stuff there as well. So that's what this is. This is like a mid. It was quite a long one, and I was only going to have a chemical plant and a mine in here. And I thought if I put a packaging plant in, then I can get a couple of different box cars and different rolling stock in here, and let me roll and buy some other stuff. Basically, so that's what I've done. So this is the start of what is going to be armour packaging. This is the state of play Iron City beer as it stands just now. I've been trying to pick up some detail parts, some stairs and different things like that to put inside the main building that sticks out there at the front, and detailed inside of that. It's a big stairwell. Some of it's just come, so I'm hopefully going to have a bit of time to add that detail in and a few bit of lighting before this building gets put into place. the back balling's going to stay what it is, and you've got a load of leaf right along the front there, which I was planning to put a couple of lights in and some picture boxes behind, but because of where this barrier here is, you can't really get down to see it at all for the side. So I might just put a couple of lights in it and not bother putting picture boxes in. And then you've got the new portion of the warehouse, which is this bit here, which is the remnants of what was that packaging plant. It's going to sit basically against the wall there, like that, which I think I showed you in the last video. So that's going to sit in there. So that's the state that's in just now. And then the backs, one of the back seam products I seem to like the most in this layout is this walling. This laser cut walling is just going to go and finish off there with a couple of trees. Get rid of some of these marks on the back seam that I've managed to acquire. But there's quite a thick grass layer here. It's too close, so that's just the right height basically to hide the grass. And then I'll put that wall in, and again I'll dirt it up and weather it, and then I'll soften this edge here. Just probably paint it black in a wee touch just to match the walls, so it's not quite as sharp as it is there. So that's how Iron City Beer's sitting just now. It's mainly detail work on that and a couple of lights I've got to add to that. So that's good. So that's the state of play of that. That's how that's sitting. So as you can see, well, I managed to get the Santa hat on for this length of time, which I'm quite impressed about. I've got quite a bit done, and I've got enough stuff sitting that over the next 10 days to 2 weeks, I should hopefully kick on and get the mine installed at least, and then hopefully add the lighting in the Iron City Beer and get that in, and then that's the back seam building there's done. Then I can get the landscaping done round about the Driftwood mine and get the additional trees that I bought at the Perth show, the Cooper or Falkirk show. I bought the additional trees to get put in at the end of the layout above the Helix. I'm sorry if the Helix, it was dark light. I was trying my best with the camera. I'll try and get better lighting in there. Once I get some lighting inside the tunnels, which is going to be pretty dull anyway, it's just going to be a nominal thing, because you wouldn't really have lighting in tunnels. The train would have a light in it. But I'll probably put just a wee bit of lighting in the tunnels, and then I need to put a wee bit of foliage in. There's a couple of holes and gaps. The reason they're there is I was trying some of the longer wheelbase wagons, and they were catching the side of the rock formation. It was just too tight, so I've pulled them out, and I need to just replace them. So I'll get some moulds made. I'll get them put in, and then that'll do that. That'll be that taken care of. I'm going to finish this video up here just by saying massive thank you to everybody that subscribed and people that leave the comments and the likes. I really hope you have a nice Christmas. I really hope you have a good New Year. I hope everybody stays well and safe. I hope I get to catch up with a few of you on your live streams. I'm really enjoying them over the period. If you have not subscribed, I think I had an amazing stat that 97% people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So 2,600 odd have subscribed, a massive amount of people. But please drop a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I always try and answer it as best I can and as quick as I can, and then we'll take it from there. So Merry Christmas and have a really great year, and all the best for 2024. Cheers.